Hello, I'm Freezing Inferno, and I really like classic Doctor Who. With me is Rainiac, who really likes new Doctor Who.
Yes, I do. Hello there.
Yes, and last night our worlds collided, and I had him watch an old Doctor Who episode, and it was called City of Death.
With Tom Baker as the Fourth Doctor.
Yeah, one of the most popular Doctors by far. Anyway, a quick primer here. It was the 1979 serial starring Tom Baker as the Fourth Doctor, as Rainiac has mentioned. And it's credited as being written by someone named David Agnew. This is actually a pseudonym for Graham Williams and some guy you probably heard of. What's his name? Douglas something. Some hitchhiker guy.
Oh, you mean Douglas Adams? Yeah, he never did anything of note.
Yeah, who the hell is that? I don't frickin' know. No, but really, this is actually one of the absolute classics of old Doctor Who, and well, I had him start on a pretty high note, because it's one of the best that the classic series ever produced. In fact, one of the episodes, I think, is the highest rated ever in all of Classic Who.
Yes. When he says he made me watch it, it's not like he was sitting next to me with a gun pressed against my head saying, you must watch this now or I pull the trigger.
Yeah. Well, when we get to the Colin Baker era, I might want a pistol.
You know me too well.
Yes. Well, what did you like about City of Death?
Well, this was my first time I'd ever seen a Tom Baker serial. Is that the word serial?
Yeah,
let's
call
kind
it that.
of strange getting used to that word, given that I'm used to watching 45-minute episodes or two-parters. But this was the first time I'd ever experienced Tom Baker as the Doctor, and quite honestly, I've been missing out for a long time.
Yeah,
because he is terrific as the Doctor.
I took a while to get into the Tom Baker era too. When I got into Old Who, I binged on the 7th, Sylvester McCoy, and I still love the hell out of McCoy. But you can't deny Tom Baker has a presence. He's just delighted at everything that's happening.
McCoy was my first classic Doctor that you also got me into,
yeah.
And I thank you for that as well. But Tom Baker, I just love his sort of enthusiasm and his eccentricity.
I think my favorite part is in episode 2, I think, when a violent, butler hurls him down on the floor, and he just gets up, and he's smiling, and it's like, oh my, what a delightfully violent butler. Hello, I'm the Doctor.
That's his best scene, I think, in the whole episode.
That is my favorite, too.
The whole serial. There I go, calling it an episode again.
Episode, serial, what have you, but basically, it's like, well, Douglas Adams did write some of this dialogue. You can sort of tell. It's sort of Adams-esque. I mean, the very beginning when the Doctor and Romana are up on the Eiffel Tower. Should we take the lift or should we fly? Let's not be ostentatious. Alright, we'll fly.
Because apparently Time Lords can fly now. That caught me completely off guard.
Well, I don't know. There was no real canon, so to speak. Doctor Who was a little fast and loose. If you try to make sense of everything, your head is going to blow up.
But that's how I make my living on my reviews, dude. Come on.
Yeah, well, that might work for your new Doctor Who, but with the old stuff, you just gotta take what you got.
Okay, I guess I'll take what I got. Which included Romana, for some reason, wearing full school uniform for the entire serial.
Now, I'll truth be told, I haven't really seen too much of Tom Baker's later era, like 79 to 81, so I haven't really seen much of Romana, so, I don't know why she wears the school uniform. I think
was it ever explained?
No.
Was it ever explained in the episode? I mean, I read somewhere on TARDIS Wiki of all places, it was actually the actress's choice because she hated school uniform as a kid, so she was trying to make it cool and trendy.
You know, I think on the special features on the DVD they mentioned something like that somewhere.
Oh, right, that might be where TARDIS Wiki got it from.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, but this episode is interesting because I believe it is the first time that Doctor Who actually shot somewhere outside of the UK. And it shows!
Are you referring to the multiple shots of Paris?
Yeah, this episode was shot on location in Paris. And believe me, they used the hell out of whatever budget the BBC gave them. It's like, right, they gave us £100,000, but just have Tom Baker run all around Paris with Lala. Just grab her hand. Go, Tom, go.
Was this before they were briefly married to each other?
I'm honestly not sure.
Because I found out last night that Romana and Tom Baker were married to each other, and I was like, what?
And then she left him for Richard Dawkins.
Well, I knew she was married to Richard Dawkins now.
I don't know if she left him for it. Yeah, buddy. Which is funny because Richard Dawkins showed up in the new series. Woo!
Yes, he did. I wasn't going to talk about the new series much because I've been kind of told I've got to keep a lid on that.
Well, I think we put paid to everything we needed to say about Series 7 of the new series last week when we talked for 2 goddamn hours.
Oh my god.
So we're going to try and be quick with talking about City of Death because it's very good and I don't want to spoil it and you all should watch it because it's fantastic. But there is one thing that we should bring up regarding the new series, actually, is that you noticed quite a few concepts that, in this episode, that have been used in the new series.
I did, didn't I? Yeah. Stephen Moffat is a thief. Basically.
This is a fake.
That, but the really big... Well, you said no spoilers, so can I sort of state it outright?
Well, hang on.
When you said spoilers, you mean not to ruin the episode for everybody?
I meant spoilers don't ruin City of Death, but you're probably about to talk about the Series 7 finale.
Well, just that there is a major plot point in the final episode of Series 7, Name of the Doctor, which actually pertains to Clara's true identity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing here with the damn villain!
Yeah, okay, you did a good job there, not spoiling, but yeah, if you haven't seen Name of the Doctor, well, you should, because it's really good.
It's fantastic, yeah.
We put paid to that already. But this is also good, but yeah, in fact, I believe I made this observation when we were talking about what Clara's true identity was going to be, and I was like, oh, she's the Jaggeroth.
And you've kind of given it a... Well, no, not really, but...
No, I haven't given it away. No.
Yeah, basically something happens to Clara... That's not a spoiler, because everyone knows who Clara is. Or do they? Something happens to Clara in that episode that also happens to the villain. Played brilliantly, by the way, by Julian Glover.
I think my favourite line of the episode is... Well... Julian Glover is Dalek Sec? That was your reaction.
Yes, it was, because the alien in it looks exactly like a green version of Dalek Sec.
It's pretty amusing, I must say.
It's Dalek Sec meets Soylent Green, I think. And at the end of the first episode, something happens, and he is revealed as this big alien with the one eye, the cycloptic eye in the middle of his forehead. I'm like, wait a minute, Julian Glover is Dalek Sec? What?
Yes.
So that was kind of ripped off the new series.
Kind of.
Or by the new series.
I think you saw some other things. The relationship between the Count and Countess Scarleone, you said...
That was exactly like the Master and Lucy Saxon.
Yeah. I mean, wow.
And there was even a reference to Shakespeare.
There you go. I mean, Christ. I said City of Death was an absolute classic of Doctor Who, so everyone writing Doctor Who has seen it, so they must have been subconsciously, doing it. Hell, even the villain, his ultimate goal and the consequences of whatever he's doing is kind of like the silence.
Forget the silence. This is the true cause of the explosion in the TARDIS at the end of Series 5.
I like how you said, forget the silence. That was cute.
Oh, yeah, I see what I've done there.
That's cute.
That was not even an intentional pun, but you know what? I'll go with it.
Well, I think we should talk about probably the best part of the episode, the best character in the episode. And that's Tom Chadman as Duggan.
Duggan is just terrific.
Duggan is basically like a private investigator trying to figure out who's trying to steal, like, the Mona Lisa in the Louvre. And he likes to break things.
Just a bit.
I mean, the Doctor's trying to open the door with the sonic screwdriver, and Duggan just takes it from him and just starts bashing it against the door.
Yeah. And that's not even the surface of it.
Yeah.
He knocks down doors, he punches out bad guys.
He crashes through a wall.
He breaks open a bottle of wine to start drinking it.
Yes, he's the best character. He's just delightfully violent.
Like, Romano just hands him a bottle of wine and says, here, let's have a drink of this. He goes, oh, alright. And rather than pulling out the cork like a normal person, it breaks the top of the bottle against the table.
He's easily one of the best one-off companions.
I don't know if I call him a companion so much, but certainly one-off character.
Well, technically, he traveled in the TARDIS.
Well, technically he did, so I suppose he's a one-off companion.
Yeah. Yeah, and John Cleese out of nowhere.
That was... what?
I don't know.
We're watching part 4 and all of a sudden, hang on, has the tape switched over to 40 Towers or something? And there's John Cleese and Eleanor Bron, who apparently is another comic actress.
Yeah.
Talking about art.
They're looking at the TARDIS and they're considering its artistic qualities.
Apparently they didn't even appear in the end credits.
There's something about that.
By their own choice, they wanted to try and appear as a pseudonym, and the Radio Times was like, you know what? No, you're not going in this episode.
The Radio Times.
The Radio Times. Doctor Who fans are... slight tangent, but Doctor Who fans are still annoyed about the Radio Times for spoiling the end result of Daleks in Manhattan.
Really?
Because there was a big spread about the evolution of the Daleks, and there's Dalek second human form.
Wow, that got spoiled.
And bear in mind, this was like 24 hours before the episode went out.
Oh. So you're like, what the hell is this thing?
I saw it in like a shop, and luckily it didn't register at the time. And the episode aired. I'm not going to get into how terrible it was or how laugh-inducing the cliffhanger of that episode was, but he shows up and like, so that's why he was on the cover of the magazine.
I think I've seen this cover, and then months later when it aired on the CBC, I was like, oh, it's that thing I saw.
It's that guy.
Why the fucking...
It's Julian Glover from City of Death.
Well, I hadn't seen City of Death back then. Oh, gosh.
We're kind of going off on a massive tangent, so you might want to bring it back.
Yeah, we can wrap it up, I think, unless you had some other fun things to add.
Well, just the fact that I've mentioned the school uniform, but it's kind of stripperific.
Stripperific, really?
I think one of our friends said it looks like she's going to Hogwarts.
Oh God!
Apparently, she doesn't wear that for any of the other episodes of the Tom Baker run.
I don't think so.
She wears clothes similar to him.
Yeah.
I just like how no one commented on it. It's like there's a fully grown woman in school uniform and she's in the middle of Paris.
Yep.
Not one person, not the Count, not the random people in France.
No.
Not one person. But no, City of Death was pretty damn good.
City of Death, like I said, one of the absolute classics of Doctor Who, and you folks should really seek it out and watch it because it's
some of
good.
the acting from the minor characters, not so much.
Yeah.
You know the scene I'm referring to.
Yeah, well, it's old Doctor Who. It's not perfect, but it's
Four
still...
Four words. Die like an Egyptian.
God. Oh, only people who've seen that episode will know what it means. And if you go watch that episode, you'll realize what it means. Which, again, you should watch City of Death. It's quite good. Yeah. One of the absolute classics of classic Doctor Who.
I haven't really got anything to compare it against yet, because I've only seen, like, 1 or 2 McCoys and 1 Tom Baker in full.
Mm.
But I'm guessing as we get further into this odyssey of mine, fueled by you, you're going to show me some more Tom Baker episodes, so I'm going to be like, oh, right, yeah, that really was the best of his run.
Yeah, it's really quite good. So
it wasn't what I expected, I'll give you that much. When it was called City of Death, I expected a big, I don't know, outer space romp, and instead we're in Paris.
We're really in Paris, believe me.
I think you could just, like, take all the shots of Paris, and that would be enough for a 25-minute episode.
There you go. City of Running.
City of Running, yes.
Yeah, I think we should end this out.
I think there's not much more to say here.
Yeah. So I've been Freezing Inferno.
I've been Rainiac.
And next time we'll probably watch another thing because I do want to make a sort of series out of this because Rainiac has his and it's successful and I want to piggyback off of that.
It's not that successful, Dave. Also, yay for piggybacking.
Yes, besides. And plus, you get to watch good old Doctor Who and we get to talk about it, so we both win.
We do, yeah. I mean, besides, I'm kind of out of commission now in the review stakes until the 50th anniversary, so I've got to do something with my time.
Yeah. So next time, I don't know what the heck we're going to watch. Maybe we're going to watch Peter Davison go out.
That would be fun. Unless people want to give suggestions, but then again, they might get Happiness Patrol, so yeah.
So, yeah, I've been Freezing Inferno.
I've been Rainiac again.
Bye-bye.
Later.